Hi, this is John with Coach Use. In this video, I'm going to show you how to customize your players and routes. With your players, you can change the colors, the label, the shape. With your routes, you can change your thickness, whether they're solid, dashed, or dotted. You can change the color. You can change the endpoint, an arrow. It can be a T, a square, a circle. You can even change your player's speed. You can add a delay to the route. There's just a lot of things you can customize to truly illustrate how you want the play run. So first we'll start with a player. Select the player will be highlighted red. The small player toolbar will appear at the bottom. From here you can change stuff like their label. So I could change him from 1, use my point guard, I could change it to PG. You can add a route if you want, or you can clear all his routes. You select the gear icon, it'll expand the toolbar, and you get more settings. Here in the center right, you'll see you can change his field color, label color, player shape, and then the stroke color, which is the outline color. And then you can set his speed. So 1 would be the slowest, 10 would be the fastest. And this is relative to all the other players on the court. So if this player is typically 1 year faster, maybe you bump it up to 7 or 8 or even 6. If he's one of the slower, maybe you go 4 or 3. Just so during the movement, there is some realistic timing there. One neat thing you can do is throughout your playbook, you could have your point guard always a specific color so that he stands out. So I'm going to do red and white. And if you do that throughout your playbook, all your point guards will know exactly where they are within the play. Let's say this player, I want him to be my center. And I always want my center to be blue and white. You could do that throughout your playbook. You could also have, maybe, for further illustration, we could make him or her be a triangle or a square even. Now let's add a route. Let's just add a straight line. So with the route, you always move the endpoint on a straight line to adjust where you want that route. You can add a curved route. The curved route has 2 controls, the end control and the center control, which adjusts the angle of the curve to allow you to do a nice curve in any direction you really need it to. So on any route, you select the player and you select the end control, and that selects the route. And you can change individual route settings. If this player had multiple routes, let's add another straight line. I could change just this section from solid to say dashed. And then I could change this. It could be, instead of black, we want it red. So everything's fully customizable. Now if we select the player, we can go to his settings. And in here, we can change the color for all the routes for that player. So now you'll see that his entire route is blue. You can change the endpoint. We change the thickness from normal to thin or even thicker to really emphasize things how you want them. You can change to where all that player's routes are dashed. I'm going to change it back to just solid. So that's just the basics, and that's really kind of all there is to customizing any of the routes. One thing you can do is you can add a delay. And the delay is useful during the animation mode and tutorial mode, because if you put a delay to a route, the player will wait during the animation the number of milliseconds you put in. So 1,000 milliseconds equals 1 second. If I wanted this player to delay 1 second before starting that route, I'd put in 1,000 milliseconds. If you just wanted it to delay half a second, you put in 500 milliseconds. Let's do a half a second delay, and let's go to tutorial mode. And notice player 4 will not start at the same speed as our center, or at the same time. So one thing I've seen people do is they may also want to have all of their players in a color scheme where they're all red and white to match their team colors. A quick and easy way to do that is to click on the Edit Player button. Here in the settings, you can go through and change all of your players to have the exact same settings. So I change them to all be red and white. And then when we go back to the play editor, they're all red and white. So as you can see, there's some pretty simple tools to use, but it gives you a lot of customizability of all your players and all of their routes. For more questions or more useful tips, take a look at all our other videos to help you get going.